Do you want to manifest love? If so, I've got something for you. So, if you have not taken the free attachment style quiz from the previous video, I recommend for you to go do that so that we can dive into the next steps. And so, when it comes to manifesting love, do you need to be fully healed? Do you need to be fully secure? No, absolutely not. What you do need is to have self awareness and to be taking responsibility for your healing and communicating, to whoever it is that you're partnering with or dating, that you're working on something. And it's totally okay. Us humans, we're imperfect, but as long as we acknowledge and do our best, that's what's important. If you want to know the shortcut to healing your attachment style, here are two things you can start doing today. So, number one, communicating from your heart in a vulnerable way. So, a lot of times when you have an insecure attachment style, vulnerability can feel scary. It can feel uncomfortable. It can feel like people are going to judge you for being weak or take advantage of you, but that is not the case. Vulnerability takes courage, and vulnerability builds connection. And so, that is the number one key to having healthy love is to start practicing communicating from the heart. So that means when someone asks you something and the answer is no, don't say yes when that is not the truth. So communicating vulnerably and honestly from the heart. And then number two is giving yourself love, feeding your inner child, which brings us to the next section of our live, which is filling your love cup, filling your love cup up. So, what does that mean? What does that look like? So, when you fill your love cup up, the way that you do it is by knowing your love language and giving yourself love through your love language. And if you don't know what your love language is, I will provide a quiz down below that is free that you can take, because what I want you to do is I want you to explore, get to know yourself better, because that's ultimately how we're going to manifest love. So, after this live is over, I will be adding a free quiz under so that you can take. If you're not familiar with love languages, there are four. So there is physical touch, or maybe it's five, but so it's a physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, and gifts. Okay, so it's five. And typically people have top two. So it's the top two that you want to start giving yourself love and some ideas. So if your love language is physical touch, you can give yourself a massage, do some deep stretching, go dancing, anything that makes you feel safe and cozy in your body. So even grabbing a warm blanket and putting it over you, that is a great way to fulfill your need for physical touch or give yourself love in that way. And if your love language is quality time, take yourself on a date. Take yourself to the park, dress up, or you can go to the movies, read a book. It's essentially spending, I don't want to repeat quality time, but you want to be fully present with yourself and connected. So, quality time, what it does not look like is being on your phone, binge watching Netflix, scrolling through social media. That is not quality time. Just because you're physically present with yourself does not mean you are connected. So take yourself on a date if your love language is quality time. And then if your love language is acts of service, you can make so for all of these, you're going to take yourself on a date, but the way the date looks like will be different, right? So if your love language is acts of service, some ideas that you can take part in giving yourself love is cooking yourself a nice dinner, or preparing like a spa day or a self-care day. And if your love language is gifts, then you can take yourself shopping, or make something cute for yourself that's like little. And then if your love language is words of affirmations, then write yourself notes, write yourself a love letter, really give yourself appreciation And you could also record a voice memo that you can listen to and just say just a lot of nice, beautiful things about yourself. And so those are some examples of activities that you can do per love language. And by doing these things, you'll be filling your love cup up. And so when I was working on manifesting love, so my two top love languages are physical touch and quality time. And so I would take myself hiking a lot and just enjoy nature. And funny enough, when I manifested my partner, I had a moment where we were both sitting on the beach and I was like, "Huh, this is a lot like the ways that I've been loving myself for the past 2 years, just spending quality time in nature." And it kind of I felt like time just stopped because I had to take a step back, and it's like the way that I've been loving myself, my partner is now loving me. And so that is the beautiful thing about manifesting. The way that you want to be loved, you need to start giving yourself that love right now. And before you know it, it's going to blossom into your life and you will be sharing that love with someone else. But it starts with you. So fill your love cup up. And in review and what we covered today, you do not need to be fully secure to manifest love, but you do need to be self aware as to where you are so that you know where you're going. And two key ways that you can start making your way to manifesting elevated love is by communicating vulnerably from the heart, giving yourself love. And ways that you can give yourself love is through your love language.